was looking like it wasn't going to be the case, but thankfully we got a map 3 thanks to Bilibili Gaming. They pick up a massive win on Split, and now we see how all of this is going to be settled going into our final map. Of course, Golden here along with Ball and Sideshow as we break everything down and talk about what we just saw, because there was a lot, especially at the end of the game there, but there are some pretty wild comparisons, and we've been kind of keeping our eyes on this Raze head-to-head, the Duelist head-to-head as well, and just the numbers out of that one, Josh, absolutely staggering. YZ was unreal this series.
Yeah, it was startling. We checked in at the halftime, and the first kills were 10-2. At the end, the second half, the first kills were still 10-6. But I want to point out specifically, YZ went 10-2 in first kills over this map, whereas Kung 0-8. So again, just an absolute differential occurring, despite the fact that Kung actually stepped up in the second half to make things more competitive.
Yeah, I think Smoggy had to fill a lot because of that specifically. One of the reasons why EDG was still in that. I'm still scratching my head as to why that was even overtime in the first place. But yeah, I think Smoggy had to fill that gap that Kung left him.
Yeah, and quite, the shoes to fill there, but did a great job. Brought it back in, but you kind of left wondering there, Paula, like what happened at the end, because it felt like EDG were riding this high, things were going really well, and then it all just vanished, thin air.
I'll tell you what, it was nobody. I mean, in the back of sight, 2 rounds before we ended.
Yeah.
Flash out, didn't shoot anybody. Chichu's stuck in a really bad position. The last round again, he's just walking into spawn. He has his dog out, not rotating, not playing his life, while the rest of his team is running as fast as they can to get over towards him. And then he peeks ahead of everybody. It's those moments that really make you scratch your head. We've seen them over and over from nobody. Sometimes it ends up being a lot of value, but this time, not even close to anything.
He got a nickname within the Chinese scene as Superman for all of the plays that he was pulling off, but to me, I think he's the Chinese angel, because sometimes he comes down, spreads his wings, and he gifts them with a couple of rounds, and sometimes he plays like the Chinese version of Angel, and he's just running around getting domed. And I think it's when you have such a swingy player on the team, he can just lose you rounds in some kind of situations. But he should never have been the factor, because their duelist shouldn't have had such a bad half for it to go 4-8 in the first. And Bilibili took advantage of that. They had nice ideas in the first half to set them up to be able to convert towards the end. And now they find themselves in a big winnable spot. This is actually hit the red button, upset alert time. EDG could be going home.
That's what I'm saying. Is this it? Are we hitting the button?
I think you got to hit the button for tell your grandma it might be happening. Get her to turn it on.
Ma, get my chocolate milk quicker.
Yeah.
It's going to map 3.
Ma, Kung might be eliminated. Ma! There, that kind of vibe. Because genuinely, it could happen heading up here. And I think that Bilibili, despite getting smoked on Haven a little bit the last time that they played against DRX, did show some positives.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of them.
What were those?
There was a lot of them trying to really take map control. The executes were quite good, and then also when they were on defense, re-clears were super solid, especially when it comes to YZ playing down long. A lot of really nice set plays to trap people into a lobby control. That sort of stuff, which is standard among good Haven teams, was fully on display in my mind with Bilibili.
And they're going to need to do that and then some against EDG here, who, don't get me wrong, I definitely felt like what we witnessed there, Sideshow, was an EDG team that was getting battered and bruised a little bit. So you're going to need them to wake up here. BLG now smell blood in the water.
And these are the plays, the re-clears, and this mid-aggression off a big recon dart, where they're able to find a timing and surprise DRX. There were things that BLG were doing well, but there weren't enough of them, and they ended up getting folded over in this series a little bit as it went over to Haven. But look, nice stun, nice re-clear of long, of short, a bit towards mid. There are things here that can cause problems for EDG on Haven. And historically, this has been a fairly close map between these two teams. Now, you can throw most of that out the window, though, because it hasn't gone the way in map 1 and map 2.
Yeah.
Split has usually gone easily the way of EDG. And the tables have been turned on Bind and Split so far in this series. They're really rewriting the history now that it's on the bigger stage.
Yeah. And I think as well, you already saw Bilibili have struggled to deal with the fact that they're up and then they lose a comeback. But in both of these instances, so far getting stomped on Bind here, and yesterday once they got that lost comeback on Lotus, they start to come back. It was the same story yesterday on Haven. They still played a relatively close game against DRX once that came through. So here they're showing even more resilience, and I think it's because on the other side is people they're experienced with playing against.
Yeah, a great point that was brought up there, right? Like these two teams have squared off against each other so many times as we've noted already, but but this kind of leads us into a circumstance where, and I kind of have to go back to the Afters interview, and he had mentioned that they didn't really do anything differently. They didn't change much in that first map, but it feels like, if anything, this Bilibili team sideshow has been more focused on just trying to win out on those aim duels and shut out those star players and force bad mistakes. And so far, it has been working out for them. Granted, I'm sure they would have liked to have had that split be a bit more cleaner, but he still managed to pick up that win.
Yeah, they definitely shut down one of the big win conditions, which was taking out the duelist really early on EDG's attack side. So I think if you asked after the same question after map 2, he'd have a very different response.
Yeah.
And I think you talk to both of these teams at the end of whatever we see here on Haven, and there will be, again, different responses. This isn't the same kind of situation we've seen before within the domestic region of China, where these two duke it out, but EDG always ends up on top. I feel like there's cracks being shown here, and a serious chance that EDG goes out of the tournament way before they would have wanted. They said minimum we want to get top 5, top 6, the same as they did before. And that's what they're fighting for here, making a similar run as compared to Tokyo, or perhaps being able to reach further and to fall at the hands of one of their Chinese rivals, which they've been able to beat the last 4 times when they've played in China. That is awful. That would be unacceptable for them.
Yeah, and I think here on Haven, though, it is going to be another more difficult step for Bilibili to do that, even though I agree with you, EDG is the guys who I think all pressure is on them because this is way earlier. But Kong will be on that jet. It's going to be kind of back to bind where he's going to be the main opper. Not that he wasn't last time as well, but he's somebody who is so focused here on finding entries. He's the main guy for this team because Smoggy will take a backseat on that breach.
Prime Gaming agent select here for both squads. No big changes here, but it's really just going to come down genuinely to who wants it more. I mean, I think that's really what it is. These two teams have played against each other so many times. I think that's just really the difference maker here.
Yeah, I mean, nobody plays a really weird style, right, on the initiator, but when he's on Sova, he does tend to be a little more conservative. He's still going to have those lurk plays when they're on the attack side as the sides flip, so that's something to keep your eyes on. And both teams like to stack sites on defense. So are they going to be able to get the reads on each other with the strange lurk plays, with the strange stacks? These are the kind of things that in a regional rivalry, you do actually tend to see them read into each other more than you would expect in the international tournaments.
Yeah, and the other big difference, I mean, they're playing very similar comps, just KJ for Cypher, essentially. And Chichu was definitely a guy who was keeping them alive in that game. So here he could find a little extra value with the cages that he can go for and go for some aggressive lurk plays as well.
Or the sky trips. Put the trips up in the sky again.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm down for whatever's going to happen here because it's Mat 3 Shrine. Let's make some noise and get ready for this one as only one Chinese team can move forward. And let's send it over to your casters.
And if you thought there was pressure before, there certainly is now. Love you too. This is going to be a wild affair. Not many of us thought that Bilibili after map 1 could have turned around map 2, but they did. It went OT, it got pushed to the limits, Mike, but they made it here to map 3.
And I love the point that Josh made about this kind of defying where the expectations lay with this series, right? We come into Haven, we come back to that same discussion of it being a familiar opponent, but Haven can become so chaotic. And I think, especially here in terms of the best of 3, Bilibili going to be riding the victory in map 2 here, and potentially with the upper hand here on the decider.
It was so close in OT, and it did take the likes of like
close.
YZ having a mad game too. It took so much, and it looks like it's going to take a lot again. YZ willing to challenge. Has a little bit of chip, but has to fall away before it got too dangerous.
Rin finally taking a little bit of damage from the shock dart. Yosemite elsewhere trying to find value. Curious of how long's actually going to bait a little bit of sound there for him, but dart will come through. Feels actually the close player. Paranoid a little too late.
Oh, this is so brawly across the map though. You've got like a garage fight that's got its own sort of rules, and then one towards A-Long, but they're walking A-Long. Rin's still down here, but that Sheriff has come to town and found Rin, leaving K-Knight, Bianchi.
There's no way they expect this.
What is this? What is going on in this game? Mike, this is ridiculous. It looks like deathmatch.
Just one left. Yosemite, spike in hand, 66 HP. Finds himself in a 1v2. Paranoid
maybe
of,
he's in sewer.
yeah, Haldong's reposition here.
Oh.
30 seconds
Nah.
left.
Nah. Nah, see?
Yeah.
It's being pinged out though. Like, there's.
They're actually pinging him.
Wait. He's got him. Okay, it's game on. It's a 1v1. And he's off towards C.
I mean, a big gap here. Going to be able to get the plant comfortably. Hasn't recalled the utility just yet, so turret and alarm bot going to be out of the question here. When is Smoggy's fault line? It's back up now.
Oh my, Yosemite. 3 kills in this round. The 4th would be everything he dreamed of, but the angle. Oh! Snaps to him! Smoggy evaporates as Bilibili pick up round 1 here in map 3, but this felt ridiculous to watch.
What the hell was that pistol round? I mean, I said things can get a little chaotic on Haven. It starts off in just that way.
1 enemy remaining.
4 here. Wasn't it K-Knight with a... Look at this adjustment. Wasn't it K-Knight with a Red Bull clutch in a pistol round to start off split as well?
I think so.
Yosemite showing his own hand in that regard.
Blocking sight.
Really switch up the pace here. Yank will find the first Haldon, tries to get a little cheeky inside the smokes. Is there anything left here?
Oh, yeah. The sight looks different. There's a man behind it. The last 3, I guess Chichu's Frenzy could have a little impact. Nah, Bilibili, that confidence is there. Of course, Kangan's going to find 1. Of course he is, but still, 4 standing, clean round, confidence too.
BDG will come back on with the rifles here. Yosemite 3 away from the lockdown is about the only notable ult progress on Bilibili's side. Kang on the other side, 2 away from the Blade Storm. Some potential to see it in this round. Really just run the same thing again. Stacked up here once again. Utility on the back line, Lauren.
They might just do that. Simplistic, but it may work.
Chichu's on site. He's in the camp.
Yeah, this is going to be Knife's Edge. Can Chichu even survive?
He's not getting pinged by the dart.
How? He's still checked on. Why is he still going to look for it? Gets an upgrade and now gets ready. Sight's all there, so the plant should be able to go down pretty much uncontested at this point. Looking for an next pressure point through back into this, through Garage potentially, but still. Needs to take those next steps. These 4 players from EDG are being held back. Look at this firing squad waiting on logs. The timing from Rin couldn't have been worse, but luckily for him, his teammates are by his side. They've got his back as nobody gets smoked off. They're looking for that next pressure coming in through from maybe Garage, somewhere, anywhere. Nobody connects through the smoke, but it ain't enough. Converting the bonus, Bilibili. Unthinkable scenes.
So Chichu committed towards sight here as well. Unable to really slow things down. Utility not in the choke point, so really, really rough for him to make a go of things there. Even though he's not scanned by the dart.
Yep.
Still clear, diligent. I mean, there was a flash towards backside as well, so full intention on that. It's about the worst possible start you want to see for EDG here on the decider. Bilibili firmly in control of the tempo and the map in general. Looking to continue that trend here. The site wide open for the taking.
I'm keeping a little note of Kang in this round just because he is one off the knife, so maybe if there's like an opportunity that could happen, but beyond that, looking for stability from Bilibili.
Feeling away from the plant though.
Interesting.
To try and capitalize maybe on rotation timings.
Oh. I think that Aldron saw quite what he wanted from that, but second guessing themselves here. I get worried if it's too late here, Mike. I'm keeping an eye on the time here. 57 seconds. Looking like going back to that C hit. Oh, the punish. Chichu. That's heartbreaking for him.
The last bullet of the spray as well. Rin finds a headshot. Result in the plant coming through here for Bilibili. Really looking for damage.
Wow.
Kang removed early on. One more stinger here for nobody. See what it can get done. Doesn't look like much.
This is very clean. Yes, Smoggy will find YZ, but that is it. We've got ults coming online. We've had precision shown. And we talked about stability and wanted to see it here. We are. Bilibili now with 4 rounds. A very clean one in the 4th too, just to add to that. And yes, nobody's got his, or yes, Kankang's got his, but I mean, at this point, Mike, this is a huge tick in the box for Bilibili.
Catch Jackson off guard. Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury available here. 2 off the lockdown, so some key ultimates will be available behind this. Kung. Bladestorm in hand. No rifle, wants to try and get the operator online on the defensive side here. That could be something to maybe swing things back in their favor.
The timing on this, I mean, yeah, no one's there for it, but diligent in approach. They found a weakness, they found a gap they want to exploit, and they're going to continue to do it, right? This is just clean work. Now, what difference do they have? A late Hunter's Fury did catch Rin. You're looking dead, and he is put down early. They get the man advantage. First time in a while, but they have Bianca with their own ult.
Definitely buy some time here. Got some shock darts lined up as well, I think.
It looks like it, or it looks really weird. No, he absolutely does. He's gone down too. They're falling like flies. They're in so much danger. The pressure now coming in. Player spotted. K-Knight there. YZ there. The fuse started. And K-Knight, oh, I thought he had a fair fight on that.
Retreating towards long. Faith in the Hunter's Fury, but Haldong finding a crucial kill ahead of that initial wave of post-plant utility coming through. Almost boxed out of the site. EG find a response in round 5. I said Kung.
Spike planted.
As the Bladestorm through, we'll have the operator here. Yeah, Rin really tough in to try and TP away from that.
Enemy remaining.
You almost want to commit to just running the TP on the Omen. Makes it so difficult to avoid the second tag.
He just stood there like a
Yeah,
lemon.
yeah, just pinging in the background.
But now I want to see what the adjustment is. Do Bilibili have that depth, right? Do they have that nice little adjustment? Can they identify what maybe happened in that round? What do they want to look towards? Was it just the Hunter's Fury? Was it just this new look coming out from EDG of a little bit more passive hold towards C, the switch up in play? These are the questions we're going to have to find out the answer to in the next couple of moments. Kankan not spotted. And takes his space once again. This allows so much more room to be taken across the map. Draw these other 3 players. We now basically have 4 leaning towards C.
It does also enable the rotation for EDG because Kankang's confirmed no presence behind the drone. YZ tagged up pretty heavy here, but won't fall.
Still alive, looking to pressure though. They're starting to get closer. Look at it through towards Garage. Look at Haldong. EDG trying to get a little bit of a brawl on the go. And right now they're winning it out. This time he enough of it. Bianca overwhelmed. EDG fighting back here.
Watch them run when lit by
Crucial to see finally these trips amounted to some kills because last time around hasn't been anybody to really punish on the back of them for being a solo anchor on C. Dig their heels in this time around, and I think on the back of some crucial information or the confirmation from Kung in a lobby.
Oh, here's the adjustment. We haven't seen this tested. Oh! Test pass for Kung. Takes out Rain and gets away. Devastating whenever he appears. A new position to play from. Comes back to it. Go has to give it away on the Owl drone. Not too many options there, and Yosemite back in the space. Kang still holding the ground. Lockdown goes down. Get out of it! Get out of it! This guy is like a heat-seeking missile. He does not miss.
Talking about him maybe missing a couple of times so far today in this series, but that ain't one of them. Ridiculous agility on display here from Kung.
One enemy remaining.
He actually went for the volume change. He went for the volume
Stop
change.
it. No.
Oh my God. Just to get the APM up a little bit more.
Oh, there's not many like him. The character, yes, but truly a master in the server. What on earth do you do with that? Felt like it was overdue for a round like that, Mike, if I'm honest, but when it happens like that. Jesus.
You can see the knock-on effect. Bilibili playing this very cautiously now.
Right there.
Don't have the benefit of the finances behind this. Only have the TP of Rin in terms of this ult cycle as well. Perform it well. Held on the other side of things will confirm. A couple of people outside A lobby. Not necessarily anything to act upon just yet.
Well, Chichu thought about it, started to drift back towards kind of spawn, I guess, maybe be... But look at the space being filled on the other side too.
I mean, Chichu can rotate because he has such a deep cam on C long, so it really enables a heavy lean towards B or A. As Bilibili going to try and find the timing onto B.
Wow. YZ got caught and did not get punished, but the ult's there and Chichu going to take that space. They have to evacuate. 30 seconds now. Maybe looking to run towards C because Yosemite's holding it down. Going to catch that cross. Punish Smoggy on the way back through. How long there, but look at the back lines as well. We're going to have the flank on the flank. YZ going to be like the dagger in the back of the plant. Still not down. EDG fighting this out the whole way. K9 and Yosemite though, so much to do and so little time. They can't even get towards the spike. Nobody on the denial. And this is now just inevitable.
Such a crazy situation between Rin and Haldong. Haldong slips into the smoke on default on C, and Rin TP's in behind. Such a risky maneuver, and it loses them the spike. Is he able to stabilize behind that? So initially it looked like they were going to capitalize on the rotation.
Yeah.
Bait out the Rolling Thunder. I don't think that was intentional, but it's invested. There was an opportunity for them to catch the timing on C, but I think maybe because Yosemite gets caught up in Garage in an engagement, he's not there to really take the space on C side to secure Rin TPing there. He said it's a bit of a roll of the dice in that regard, Lauren.
Yeah, it's what does Bilibili do now, right? They had that perfect start, enough that kind of gave you hope going forward, right? Mike, it was like, okay, maybe this is the one we can work with. And then as soon as we started to see Can come online, everyone else starting to like work it out, figure it out. These full buys coming on in, they've been nasty, thriving in the chaos. Yes, the individual moment there from Kangan, but everyone else has been around him too. That was one round out of the 4. Now tied up at an even scoreline, but the money in dire straits for Bilibili.
Goes here.
One rifle coming out, and that's it.
We'll have the Rolling Thunder for the next round. On a purchase, Rin actually going to throw a rifle in the mix here. Buys down to 650. So they have the benefit of the loss bonus, but see what the knock-on effect of that is. Trading of ult lines.
Nobody stuck around.
Yeah, almost a chance. Nobody is punished there, but no reveal inside the smoke, so been a gamble to try and commit to that.
They've crept so close. Kangkang's taking the rest of the map, so they've got to know that something's going their way.
Yeah.
Is it Suwa? Where is it? I mean, this is really confounding and confirming the problem. But YZ is still so deep on this. He's been allowed to get this close. And Smoggy was none the wiser. Nobody's angle was not keeping this safe. Trying to be drawn away from this. Nobody is under a lot of pressure, making up for maybe a little bit of mistake. But Yosemite comes back around, finds damage. Bilibili dealing with EDG.
One of the most ridiculous pinches on A site. How did Yosemite get there?
I don't know.
Kank one off the Blade Storm. Does he clear close?
Of course he will. Let's go.
He was about to.
He was about to.
He was about to.
Quick enough. This time, Bilibili converting a thrifty hit. MasterCard Thrifty coming through with 4 standing. And kind of talk to me about what happened for them there, because they got so far.
Like, it's the paranoia from Rin. We talked about his questioning his investment, maybe. It's a rifle and a paranoia that comes through that allows this drift up YZ to find the initial punish, but it's Yosemite.
How's he gone
How
there?
he's able to backstab A site. Maybe that is just that moment of panic where a couple of people give up angles. I saw him deal with the cam in Garage previously. Was there a trip on B or anything?
Not. Kangang has decided that he would now like A long. So of course, if you're Bilibili, you're running to C. Avoid this man at all costs. They seem to be doing just that, but this now puts Chichu on the chopping block, a tough position to play in. He was kind of being pushed around a little earlier here. And a preemptive Hunter's Fury on this. Trying to post it across from B to C, but already a player's on the site. Chichu's in trouble. They're coming on in. Can he isolate a fair fight? This does he even get a chance, and he absolutely does, because the flash denied them all, and he denies them the site. Keeps it safe, keeps it secure. Finally, Chichu shows his hand, and it's a damn good one.
He's desperately looking for the recon to come through, but was still on cooldown regardless. Bides his time perfectly. Flash setting things in motion for that second kill on YZ. So blind on the swing.
Time for a break.
And a bit of a bailout round here with Chichu on an island. I was questioning his commitment once again towards site. You saw how easily he's been punished before.
Yes.
And Bilibili looking to overwhelm with a very quick rotation away from A.
It looked like a good idea, right? By all of those accounts, it actually looked right, but not this time for Kangang. Gonna be actually chased. Yosemite chasing Smoggy down, gonna catch one in the heels, another drift of a fight, a dry fight, and a big backhand. Nobody sends YZ out of the round, evening the score up to a 4v4.
Aldron will clear through, but no confirmation of anybody's whereabouts.
Revealing area.
Just gotta be careful of that. Yes, he hit it through. Neural theft will confirm, but lockdown ticking away here. Nobody committing towards the final. Gagak is on in! What?
How am I? And I don't understand. I want to watch it back, but nobody's got to the site for a second. This is so bloody. This is ridiculous. How long in a 1v2? Look at the HP. It's possible. It's doable. Yosemite the one to start this. Can he close it? 45 seconds and he holds. He waits. Patience pays. How long? Gets EDG in the lead.
The Red Bull clutch from Haldon to bring us into round 12 here, and Bilibili's bank has been broken. Rolling Thunder available, Hunter's Fury here, but they're going to struggle in terms of the inventory.
Oh!
I mean, I would love to even say that's an accidental one of those fat finger dash forwards, but
It's just Kangang.
that's Kangang.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he wanted
He
to
did.
punish the plant.
Which he near on did.
Yeah.
A step closer, you know what I mean? That could have happened. We go back in, 6-5 EDG, yes, leading, but barely. But the money, YZ down to just the SMG here. Haldong deeper angle. Actually just drawn off it, the timing works well. YZ looking to close the gap a little, maybe slowed down by the paranoia, but wants to get into this. Two players, one right, one left. Now there's issues. Isolates a fight, but it's going to be EDG with the effective trades at 3-2. Leaving him the man up, and Biang, what? Betters nobody from that angle, leaving just one. Kangang in a 1v2 and a safe plant for Bilibili. He's closing
Hang
low.
on. He's close here, and the Aldron could get punished.
The angles. Did he spot him? Did he see the final player? It looks, oh! Bianc, you are a lucky boy today. A split second either side, and it could have been different, but tied up at 6 apiece.
What an end to that half. EDG with the claw back in a couple of these rounds. Keep it level to close things out. Definitely spotted the retreat there, but Bianc plays, again, ballsy, but plays it perfectly.
He had to.
Doesn't give Kangang any room to maneuver.
You can't. You give him a second, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Kangang cannot be allowed to do that. However, the opposing number we're about to hear from will be YZ.
其实，我们跟 DRX 打过很多次训练赛嘛，然后就我们知道他是一个那种战术储备很多的队伍，就是他第二张图在掏出了那种阵容的时候，其实我们也没有很惊讶，因为大家都在默默的执行战术，然后就可能我们后面打的会稍微有一些急吧，然后给了对面一些机会，然后对面也都抓住了，然后他们的翻盘就他们都是强队嘛，就是你给他机会他就抓住了，觉得就是我们自己没有做好。我觉得来到败者组之后，就是 这不是最后一场游戏了嘛？就是你输了你就回家了，就每一把都是最后一把了。就是我觉得这不是一份，就是不是一个不好的事情嘛。首先是我们在上面输下来，就是也会有一些能提升的地方。然后到8月9之后，然后我觉得我们每个人都能就是背水一战嘛。
That was it. Here comes Buzz.
It's a different path, but YZ gets to kill himself. What the heck happened there? YZ already with 2.
C.
Perhaps another ace on the cards. YZ with 4. The ace on the other side, and it delivers once more.
就跟 EDG 之前确实还是有差距的，毕竟他们打了那么多次国际大赛了。我觉得从 BLG 建立以来，就是打的劣势局才是算最多的。我们就是能在每一次劣势的时候去找到机会，然后去击溃对手嘛，就是一帆风顺才是那种，就是大家说一帆风顺才是不正常的。然后我想就是说，就大家都加油吧。然后如果我们真的能在拜尔组1传6、1传7的话，那我感觉整个 CN 的5位契约都要开香槟了。
Fantastic map 3, keeping up to the quality we wanted between these two. Back and forth, we have it at 6 apiece. Mike, where is this one going?
I would love to be able to answer that one. Like I said, I think we're a little off course in terms of expectations here, but it's a close affair here on map 3.
Oh yeah.
If anyone can take an early lead in the second half. Trade-off of information. YZ forced to retreat. Well, not for long.
Kangang's the one to win that fight. It still just feels so unfair, the amount of situations like this.
His classic has done dirty things the last few days.
Maybe get it. I might have to get the, the admins taking a look through that, whatever it's made of. But again, a great start. They've pulled away one player above a minute too, but look at the response from Bilibili. Rotate mid control, but EDG fully aware of that intent. There's one more player out here that could deny it all, and he's fallen. It was Rin with a chance, and this is clean as you like. 5 alive, and very few chances for Bianc now.
Frenzy in hand as well. The distance is going to be a concern. The cage will pop in front of him.
Spike planted.
Kang's posted on this angle. Wow.
Perfect.
Could cause concerns. Headshot found. 4 enemies left. Try and dig out here.
It's not going to happen there, is it? Little uphill. I mean, that was a very pacey start to things. Taking that fight towards long started it, but again, the clear back through middle as well, expecting this counter-aggression that, I mean, Bilibili depended upon. They fell to pieces.
This is a solo probe sent down A long.
Yeah.
EDG trying to bait Bilibili out into some of these engagements in mid. Like you said, prepared for it. 4 frenzies. Well, they heard me. Can't make his mind up now. There'll be a ghost for Yosemite. So try and walk mid. Off the rip this time.
Oh.
Camera dealt with, so I don't know if Chi-Chu will have spotted, or he just knows that the camera's been dealt with.
Cover going out.
And it's a bit of a game of timing, but YZ's fallen, and that's over towards the C side, so they should be able to get a plant. It's whether or not they can cause any chaos with these frenzies. That Sheriff, they are held back for now. Smokes are still in play, and Kang is defending this. The guardian of the site. Critical shot. I'm going to find Rin drifting back towards T side. 3 players. Still looking for a chance. Anyone out of place would be great, but they're in great positions here. Kang will go down, and that's not the end of the world for him. That was going to be just the Marshal, so he'll give that one up. It's going to be that Phantom. It'll be the Bulldogs. They're the costly pieces that Bilibili would love to take out of EDG's hands.
One enemy remaining.
Well, as we can see, Smoggy's having none of it.
Howdong still very diligent on the flank here. Bodyguard in K-Knight's position. Won't be given any sort of way back into this. No chance to find an exit. Any further damage for Survive on the side of EDG. And a comfortable start to the second half will bring in actually some fairly crucial weaponry to the bonus here.
Big fight.
Look at that. Guardian, 2 Bulldogs to round things out.
Would you look at that?
They got the better of them there in that regard.
Now do they go up and over towards A? Where do they take this?
Bilibili go back over towards mid.
Let's get this started. 8-6 now. Big purchase coming in. Oh,
There they are.
big info too. It's very early round. Still plenty of time for adjusting.
Valorant won't spot anything just yet. Still 3 players to try and dig out of these sorts of positions. Bianc testing the discipline here.
That corner could be pivotal.
Cage triggered.
Just going for the utility. Rin's attention now definitely on red alert. But no intention behind it. No follow-up. No presence. No further utility. It's just a pause. See if they can draw out some of this aggression, which really, Bilibili is not entertaining here.
No, and the concern being the later this goes, without EDG finding a kill on the back of this sort of weaponry brought into the bonus, it does become a little dicey.
Oh, it does.
Bilibili have dug their heels in to this three-man stack on A side.
Why is he not checked on Knight? Oh, K-Knight can slow down towards long. This is going to put at least one on an island. That's going to be Bianc. Opening it up, nobody goes down. Kang on the follow-up as well, takes down YZ. K-Knight can only stand for so long. Falls to the side stairs. They execute perfectly in 10 seconds.
Overwhelmed. 4v2 in favor of EDG. You can see on the mini-map here, Rin and Yosemite looking to hold on to these rifles. EDG will go up to 9. Will be very concerning as well. Does this throw the finances off kilter a little bit?
And I mean, and I think the thing that worries me slightly about this is how clean that take was, right? We're starting to see that...
sorry to
No, please.
It's really concerning that the later that gets, that's when actually, yes, it's a very well invested bonus, but you feel like Bilibili, if they can commit to these crossfires, late round it becomes pretty dicey.
Like, even if Bianc goes down, I feel like Bianc was stunned, he was going to get checked on. You could have slowed down the players coming up towards long, which is what they looked like they did. Oh. All good, all good, all good. 2 rifles remain, but yeah, it does certainly throw the money into a little bit of a question mark. They'll be able to buy around it if they fancy, but they're not sure. We've seen these timeouts, Mike. We've seen them pump the brakes in these scenarios. But let's watch this again. No crossfire, no counter swing, no pressure from anywhere else. EDG had what they wanted.
Yeah, because I don't think the recon actually reveals Bianc's position. So that's where you hope that somebody commits to the other side of that.
Right.
But the flash obviously throws a couple of people a little deeper on site, sure, but if Bianc's that committed, I mean, he either finds 2 or 3 or it's wraps.
Yeah.
Like, they get overwhelmed on default so easily. 3 rounds to kick things off here for EDG. 1 away from the Blade Storm. Upper hand in terms of this ult cycle. With it being fairly one-sided.
The dance cam found the victim.
Yes.
They were not letting him go.
Hello, Reddit.
And for Bilibili, they've got to come up with something, right? Because they had a very, very competitive first half here. It has felt a little hot and cold. I'm nervous if EDG are starting to shift gear into, you know, that little bit of a higher form we know they can hit, right? And YZ isn't having the impact he had in Split. It's not been that same sort of form. Bilibili have looked good across the board. It's been okay.
Sure.
Yosemite's been fine. K-Knight's been fine. Like, they're doing all right, but it hasn't been that one player to propel them forward in those scenarios where we are seeing Kang having a round like that. We are seeing nobody finding masses of impact in comparison to his very off game on Split. So a little bit of a shift here in map 3, and that's causing me concern. And the buy this time around, those 2 remaining rifles, yes, still in play, and they're going to supplement it with Sheriff's Stingers.
By the way, there's no way they heard Rin come up here, but the timing of him tucking into Cubby, and they drift away from C-Long. And look at the minimap.
Yeah.
There's 2 on site here, and Rin posted deep. The other 2 for Bilibili over on B site.
But he's got to get played in.
They're coming back this way.
He has to get played in. Someone has to almost be the sacrifice for him to find genuine value. You're not going to have mistakes here. You're playing against a side that is notorious for sitting in these corners.
Hard cleared.
Where was the play and where was anyone else? Leaving him on his own, hoping, praying that it works out. YZ, that's nice, but that's all it's going to be is a one Sheriff shot. But the other rifles made it to the site. Is it Yosemite? 21 HP, that's tough. Out on closing in, and Chi-Chu Not gonna let it happen. I'd wanted to see a bit more for him there. Some support, some help. Wasn't to be.
And he's the one on the rifle as well. There's no chance to, even if he does fall, somebody finds an upgrade. Really, really awkward exchange here for Bilibili.
Spike down.
Mind you, I've been critical of, obviously on map 1, them not being proactive. We saw lots of examples on Split. Here, that margin for error decreasing with every round. Feels like a must-win here for Bilibili in round 17.
And how do they do this? EDG, a similar look, eyeing up that C site. A passive hold from Bilibili, but Rin actually going to get contact towards Kang. That's a first. Draws first blood and slows it down. Oh, look at the damage! Nobody gets punished on it. Trade comes out and now the fight begins. They're trying to play ahead of it a little bit. Try and get in their face. That's what's worked for them. K-Knight this time doing enough. Guess who's alive? Chi-Chu, a 1v4. Very tough positions to clear out, but a couple of 1v1s he could have.
If you isolate Yosemite, that would have been the first.
It would have been.
Give him a fighting chance back onto site here to retrieve the spike, but nonetheless, Bilibili will find a response. They're first in the second half here. It's on the back of Bianc. Tag down to 10 HP. Still swings out. Finds a kill. Sets K-Knight in motion to find a follow-up.
Operators there, Mike. Knives are in pocket.
Yep.
This is when one man gets all the attention. See what he's got for us. YZ, you better be ready. You know there's a chance for this. Suddenly the map feels different, so oppressive when he has this operator out.
Adjustment here, actually, on the back of Yosemite. Look at the utility. And bodies committed towards denying a site. Can they withstand the pressure, though, Lauren?
Again, nervous YZ. Holding towards long. Could be overwhelmed. Could be punished. K-Knight, can he back him up in time? Smoke going into play. Now you're getting ready. You know what's going to be coming your way. 4 players. Oh, it's fantastic from K-Knight and YZ. Playing together in unison. They handle EDG.
We've seen so many rounds like this where EDG and Bilibili are facing off with just a wall separating them. This time around, K-Knight. 3 beautiful kills. The funds still available for EDG. We'll see a timeout called, but it's a follow-up round found. Brings it within 2 here in terms of the scoreline. Ults are plenty. EDG, Hunter's Fury, Bladestorm, Rolling Thunder, and 1 away from Chi-Chu and Haldong as well. Bilibili able to mirror that, actually. Yosemite, I think, missing 2 towards the lockdown.
This is still so close. And this does also give Bilibili a chance to talk during EDG's timeout.
Yeah.
Check back in with those similar roles, that similar idea, keep a little bit of a hand on this. Because I feel like if Bilibili get left 2 alone, they lose some of that confidence, they lose a little bit of that momentum. I do want to see them be able to kind of like find that comfort in the way they're approaching this. So, as it stands, a similar hand to be played with. The money, a little bit of a predicament, but Kang does have knives, so not the end of the world there. He can run with that. Where does he bring him? Does YZ pop his? So much between these two, so equal in this round.
So we did.
Need a drop.
Judge being toyed with here for YZ.
Oh.
No, we'll get a rifle.
Okay, okay.
I think maybe trying to protect the funds a little bit behind this. Kang straight onto his, obviously. She slowing things down here. Start of round 19.
But look at this positioning from Bilibili. Are they reading this as an E-piece? Is this...
It's one of the most disgusting B-site holds I think I've ever seen.
Look at it. What do they know? I mean, for now, it's poor old YZ in a world of trouble. He can't really do much about this. It's just try and suffer through, see if he can survive. If there's anything else to put him down. But it'll be a full-on retake, and look who's getting aggressive towards CT. Counter ult comes in, they're going to take back through Garage. Chichu, he's gotten one, trades there. Kang takes over, misses! And his 70's the one to punish. Great work from Howdong, great combination with nobody. And EDG weathering the storm.
It's another example, though, just I feel like they're both singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yeah.
Bilibili expecting a B-site hit maybe on the back of Kang, having the knives available, looking for maybe a drive-by plant to find it, and then the retreat, and it gives them a wide open C site, and EDG capitalize.
What do they do now? It just feels like, what hand are they going to show now? Because keep in mind, Bilibili still have all these ults, right? They got the lockdown, Hunter's Fury, knives there for YZ, Operator now coming out to play. Do they get the chance to use it this time? That's what EDG does. Looks like maybe that B piece they were considering before. Kang closing in a little, but may opt against it, may look towards C, may look towards Garage presence. But plenty of time to be toyed with.
Starting to see a lack of that proactivity, the initiative being taken around the map by Bilibili. As I say that, YZ will find nobody drifting into A lobby. Spurred on an explosion elsewhere on the map, but Garage might be the next port of call here. Smoggy punished. Further information found as well.
Looked like he did loads more damage, but he didn't. Kang still on around 80 HP. Paranoia is fantastic. Look at this. Close the gap. How did Rin get nothing out of that? Howdong's caught him. He's brought it back down to 3v4. Maybe there's still a chance of this. Bianca wants to get involved. Plays a little ahead. Slips through the smoke and tries to find a target. Howdong's found another. EDG, how are you doing this? Surely not. Bilibili might be crumbling here. YZ on the trade out. Oh, Yosemite, the only one to stand.
It's just such a wild exchange. The back and forth pendulum swing between these two teams now in map 3.
One enemy remaining.
This was so close. Ops out both side. Kang with one, YZ with the other. Do we get a fight off the rip here? Let's have a little glance at it. YZ looking interested but not overcommitted. A TP taken towards Sewer. And they start to work. YZ adrenaline starting to pump now, surely.
I mean, since this adjustment of putting Yosemite and YZ in this sort of situation, other side of the wall, I got worried.
But Kang's not. Kang's out! He went for it! A gutsy play, but YZ too clean, too aware, too on point. Looks towards Sewer now, controls the space, but look at EDG, pivoting quickly.
There's opportunities elsewhere with a third player committed towards A site. Nobody, though. Trying to find some space on B. Chichu's found Rin. It could open the floodgates. Yes, Smoggy will double down. Need a safe plant here.
It's all from A side as well. They've just divided the map in a different way. The horizontal split between them. Nobody gonna dip back through towards middle. Try and create a little bit of a crossfire here. Smoggy, very precarious in positioning.
Considering the lockdown, yeah, they are.
They're going for it. And they could deny it, but Yosemite's going to connect towards Chichu. Oh, another fight! This guy is wild! But nobody in a 1v2 does he get a chance. They're storming the gates. They're so close. He spotted him. He can't find K-Knight. And Bilibili get another go.
Barely anything separating these teams right now, Lauren. Just ridiculous.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, you even hear the lockdown. I mean, you see K-Knight committing to the run and gun there. I was like, Just one round.
Oh, look at the money for EDG, Mike.
It's not great.
It's not great.
Should be tied up here in round 22.
They got 2 rifles. Smoggy and who was the other? Nobody. Nobody with the Phantom. Smoggy sitting on the Vandal. But that's about it. Everyone else working with far less. And nobody wants to go to B, apparently. He wants to get there quite quickly as well. Full space taken. And this is what Bilibili looked ready for before, but now only one posted up on this. That is going to be nobody. The utility didn't get cleared.
So mind game's in effect here.
That's a spike.
Bilibili peeling away from this 3-stack on A that has worked previously. Yosemite, this time around, investing utility elsewhere. EDG will capitalize. A little awkward to get the spike down just yet. Bianc primed and ready for the retake, though.
There we go, started off, uh-oh. Can Kang do the dance? Trying to keep himself mobile here. It's nobody to find Yosemite first. And Kang with another chance of things here. Spots out one towards CT, kind of gives away the intention of Bilibili. Want to break back in, and they might just be doing it. How on? Nobody in unison. Taking EDG to 12. And these plays are so aggressive. It is wild to watch this.
What a ridiculous swing. You feel like it, once the smokes expire, Bilibili should have the upper hand, but...
Oh!
Blood, sweat, and tears going into map 3 here, Lauren. EDG on the brink.
GG. Or a chance at OT. EDG on the attack inside, eyeing up that C site. There is 3 players not far away from this. One of them, Rin. Not ideal weaponry. Has full kit though. Now noted, does he get played in on this now? Do they continue on this pathway? Hold on, this could be big. They're trying to pressure this, they're trying to push down towards this. Look at Rin, taking the space. Chichu's fallen. There's a real shot at this one. They're hurting them away. And look at the other side of the map. YZ has backfilled this. He's gonna hit Kang. He's still got him. YZ down. The gate's looking open towards A, but do they go back?
They've baited them. Yosemite heading all the way across here with K-Knight. Actually destroying the dart.
Take flight.
Still shows presence on C long here. Drone will come through. Only spotting one though.
Didn't catch Rin.
No. But they've already split the defenses.
They have.
We'll have a 4v2 potentially on C site here.
And Rin still only got that stinger. Gonna be stunned up too. Closing the gap. This is all in from Bianc. He's hoping he doesn't get checked and he's slipping through the smoke. He does, and Rin succeeds. Bianc doubles down, but it's nobody. Finding both, leaving them in a 2v2. Plant should be okay. We've got one towards long and one towards CT.
Look at the HP bars though, 45 HP a piece here.
Oh,
and Yosemite's found the kill.
It's all on one. To close it, can Smoggy get EDG across the line? K-Knight's position is ratty, it's patient, and it might just pay. Yosemite trying to play his life, and Smoggy gets to slip away.
One kill in the Rolling Thunder, Lauren.
There is timing on this. Oh my god, he's got it, baby! He's got the ult, and Yosemite's barely got a breath. Look at his HP, it's 10 HP. It's all he's got. And is this a chance for Yosemite to close in? He's trying it, but time is running low. He's got to move, he's got to go! EDG! Sending Bilibili back on home!
What an absolute treat to see this series pan out like that. Like I said, blood, sweat, and tears from both sides here. Putting everything into this series. Unfortunately, for Bilibili Gaming, the last showing here, EDG will continue.
I've got to say as well, I cannot wait to see the form Bilibili come back in with to future events. For a team that said they just wanted to learn, they were
here to learn.
They took half these other teams to school.
Yep.
They eliminated NRG. They ran through it, causing terror. And they had to face their own countrymen in a very hard domestic battle. And bowing out at a 10-13 scoreline to EDG is very respectable.
Absolutely. With the form that we already know EDG are capable of, I don't want to say we've seen them really hit that just yet here in Los Angeles. We've seen peaks and troughs, but able to survive another day here. Credit where credit's due, closing out confidently, demonstrating a really keen understanding, a good grasp of a familiar opponent. We've talked about that a lot today, and I think we had so many examples of that.
You're absolutely right, and in my mind, I'm just happy to see that EDG were able to stabilize, because they're a team that does have that depth, but still, Bilibili really changed my opinion massively of them coming into this. However, it's not just for us to discuss, it will be for the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you so much for that. Of course, a huge shout out to EDG picking up the dub there. What a game that was. And it's not every day that all of us here get to enjoy, you know, a Chinese regional rivalry matchup, right? Usually our colleagues over, you know, in China get to do that. We got to do it here at a global event, and hell, that was a pretty damn entertaining series.
It was, yeah. I thought Bilibili stepped up much more than I was expecting, and what a run it's been from Bilibili in general, right?
Yeah.
If we're just going to talk about what they've achieved as a little send-off here, they upset NRG not just once, but twice in order to get two Chinese teams into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've done incredibly well at showing us that there are actually levels of competition here that we weren't expecting from China, and they almost brought it to EDG. I mean, they did bring it to EDG, but they almost bloody eliminated them as well.
Yeah, especially after that first match, or that first map on Bind, I was not expecting.
We wrote it off.
Yeah, this was a ridiculous game from them to be able to actually keep that close. I thought, again, that they were going to get mentally checked out, but they didn't. This resilience on this team is phenomenal, and I can't wait to see them more on the international stage.
Yeah, I think my big takeaway here is I can't wait to see what's next for Bilibili, genuinely, because I think, you know, YZ, an incredible
This was their
player.
first tournament.
Yeah, the first tournament. Yosemite was cracked out multiple times. Like, every player on the team had like a moment, and honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing what they could do moving forward, because this experience had to have been huge for them.
Yeah, you actually heard it from one of their players in that halftime interview where they said, we still perceive there being a gap between us and EDG, but I think this match has served to kind of close that gap just a little bit and give them the experience that they need to be able to go on a run like EDG is currently on, where they've gone 5th, 6th at Tokyo, and now up to 5th, 6th again at Champions.
But my question is this, did this matchup in particular expose EDG a little bit? Because Bilibili were showing ways to really take advantage of those opportunities against EDG.
Yeah, I don't know if it's them showing it and then proving that EDG does have holes, or if EDG just genuinely has them, right?
Yeah.
If they're just out there for everybody to see, because this is 2 series now that I'm getting kind of underwhelmed by EDG. In particular, some of the ways that they're all kind of, it feels like they're doing too much. It feels like they're all trying to do something at the same time, and that really makes them kind of easy to read and to beat.
At the same time, I feel perhaps some of our expectations were set a little high for EDG.
Probably,
we were looking at them as the dark horse of the tournament, team that could go really deep. You've got to remember,
the best opera, that thing.
Right, but
Oh, that's a thing.
you got to remember, this EDG squad is still just trying to replicate the depth of run that they did in Tokyo. Now they've achieved that. You know, new horizons going forwards from this point onwards. We get to see now what they're made of. Can they bring it to the big teams in that lower bracket? Can they make some kind of a run happen? Or are they just going to be a team that, you know, rather than exploding onto the international stage, are they just going to chip away at that? And every time they turn up, go a little step further and a little step further.
Sure, yeah, for sure. I really am curious where we end up going with this squad here, and we still have some time before the interview starts up. But for EDG now, they're going to begin this lower bracket run here. I'm curious to see, because, you know, Fnatic are going to need to pull off this run, and so are EDG. It's a tough position to be in, but they've proven that they can, at the very least, you know, face that adversity and come back stronger.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to watch the games tomorrow with a very close eye, and also rewatch this game and understand what went wrong. Why were those so close? Because there's a lot of things that I think they can point to and fix really quickly in my mind. It's something that is very doable for EDG, and we've seen it from Tokyo to the beginning of Champs in their Chinese qualifiers. In my mind, they got slightly better, and now they're kind of regressing. These things are fixable, though, and I think they can come out ahead of where they were back at Tokyo.
I'm so pumped to see how much this team is going to grow. But for now, though, that's enough for us here. We'll see you in a second here, because we have Kong standing by with Doug for our Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, I'm standing by with Kong Kong, fresh off of a win against Bilibili Gaming, and I want to start off with the inter-regional rivalry. We saw as you guys were walking across the screen, it was nothing but love. You guys were hugging each other. You took a little bit of extra time. What was it like to have to go through another Chinese squad in order to advance in the tournament?
首先，恭喜你们拿下了这场比赛的胜利。其实，在这场比赛结束之后，能看到你们花了更多的时间在舞台上面和对手一起来握手，然后一起拥抱。所以想问一下，拿下这场比赛，其实你们也能够成功的晋级到下一轮，继续你们在冠军赛的征程。但是这个代价其实就是淘汰另外一支CN瓦的队伍。现在感受如何
呢？跟他们交手的时候心情很低落吧，因为我并不想亲手把自己的兄弟送掉，然后但是我们自己没有打好吧，然后这一场导致了现在这个原因，所以说我们会带着我们另外2支兄弟的那一份希望吧，继续往前走的。
Well, I was very upset when I was facing off against BLG today because I really don't want to eliminate them with my own hands. This is the least thing that I wanted to do. Also, it was our fault that we didn't play well in the previous matches. So coming to this point, I will definitely bring the hope of the other 2 CN team and to move forward.
Let's talk about that very last round there. It was a 1v2 clutch on Haven. There was no way for that to work out. I want to get your perspective in that moment. Everything is so tense. It seems like Bilibili's making another ferocious comeback. What's going through your mind as you have to sit back and watch that play happen?
我们来聊一下影视搜索最后的那个残局那一分，可以说是非常非常关键，所有的可以说紧张的时刻都在这个瞬间来爆发。然后想问一下，在这一分其实很可能对于 BLG 来讲是另外一个反扑的时刻。那当时你坐在可能说是观战视角的情况下，当时你脑海里面在想什么呢？
没有想什么，因为我100%相信张张。
I wasn't thinking about too much. I had 100% trust on Smoggy.
And it worked out. He was able to pull it out. Last question I have for you, and then I'll let you go. At the beginning of the tournament, the aspirations for EDG were to perform just as well as you did in Tokyo. You've accomplished that feat. You're continuing to play well. What's next for EDG? What's the next bar?
在这个冠军赛开始之前，你们说可能这一次的目标就是至少要跟东京赛走得差不多远，然后甚至要做得更好一些。那现在你们已经做到了，想问一下你的下一步会是什么呢？
我觉得下一步就是做好自己吧，然后面对每一个敌人的时候，我们不再畏惧，不再恐惧，然后我们发挥出自己100%的东西。然后我觉得无论如何也要去一次4强，去一次新的场地。
So definitely we're not afraid of any opponents from now on. Also, no matter what, we'll really want to see the venue of semifinals.
You put the world on notice before. You're continuing to do it here. Congratulations on the big win, and thank you for the time. Back to you guys.
Wants to see the Kia form. Heck, I think if he keeps on playing the way that he's been playing, you know, it certainly is a reality, but of course his team is going to need to just continue to fire on all cylinders because the competition is only going to get that much more competitive here.
Yeah,
Paula.
I do think that we saw a little bit of a reserved Kong Kong there because he just sent his, you know, the other Chinese team in the tournament home, but also I don't think that he's been playing up to the level that he expects for himself. I mean, on Split, for example, I think a big reason why Bilibili was even able to take that was because Kong Kong wasn't up to the level that he holds himself to, and that's 2 series now that I feel like he feels like he's disappointing the team. I think that's why you see him be a little reserved, a little bit more cautious in terms of what he's saying there on the stage.
It would be so fun to have a packed Kia Forum getting involved with this team, though, because the EDG chants have been going crazy. We saw some really unusual Chishu Haodong kind of...
Actually, yeah, we have
cheers. It was really weird during this game. It sounded like they were cheering, but the crowd was just getting into it, getting hype behind Chishu and Haodong.
Yeah, and also, how could you not? Multiple times, they were the last 2 players left alive. Multiple times, they clutched out those rounds. And You can hear the crowd cheering Chichu's name, and then when Chichu died, they'll just revert over to Haodong. Just start cheering Haodong, however it ended up shaking up there.
Shout out to those guys, because they definitely actually got that split game really exciting. It ended up going to overtime, and without that environment, it would have been, I don't know, it was interesting. You're right. It felt like kind of a church chant at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it got louder and louder. Chichu, just super deep. But how do you cheer for his name? I mean, it's a kind of weird.
Yeah, it is a strange one. I feel
that guy's got a souvenir.
I feel like if you only look at this series by the numbers, or this rivalry by the numbers, it doesn't tell how close this actual game was. In the last 5 matchups between these two teams, EDG have won 13 out of 15 of the maps that they've played against Bilibili, which sounds like they're stomping them. But when you look at this, there was a serious chance that EDG were going to lose this game. And I feel like there's some other outliers as well, like Kangkang's still top fragged, I believe, for the team, or at least top ACS for the team.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't really like he had the most impact here today.
Yeah.
There were a couple of little factors like that where, reading through the lines on EDG, there are some cracks showing the deeper they get into the tournament.
Well, one of those that we were talking about before the match started, and we were seeing it happen on Split, was Nobody, right? Who, weirdly enough, actually was incredibly consistent stats-wise this match, I should say.
Despite the fact that we've criticized him quite a bit on this, he's actually performed quite well in this series. 306 ACS on the last map, and he also was positive in first kills. Like, he was getting a lot of those as the Sova player, so a lot of those things that we would criticize for him, like walking down as a lurker by himself, he was actually getting a lot of value from.
Yeah, but also the numbers don't tell the fact that he's throwing away rounds for the team.
For sure.
And I think also the deeper in the tournament, the more teams are going to be able to punish those mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that's a glaring weakness at the moment, that is just way too much of a feast of famine approach to the way that they're playing, to the way that some of the rounds are played by like Kangkang or Smoggy, like the attack side on Split, just being so all in. I hope that EDG can tighten the screws a little bit, because they've taken a series here today that I think they could have dominated BLG and ended up being a real close, scrappy affair, which was like a bittersweet moment for Kangkang, but also for the fans. I feel like there was some squeaky bum time going on too.
100%.
People whistling through those sphincters.
They were sweating. They were sweating and getting mud butt. Of course, that moves us over to our HyperX Reflex moment. Sure, HyperX loves that. Moment of the day. And of course, it's Kangkang yet again, just doing more Kangkang things. But this, again, welcomes that conversation about, again, he does a lot, right? Like, and that's the thing that we love about Kangkang. Just look at everything that's happening here. He pushes, he thinks, okay, I'm going to have my dash. I'm going to be ready with this. I'm going to get up top. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fly at this guy, hit him with a shorty.
Most Jet players are dashing out here. They're dashing all the way back.
Sometimes that is a bit of a detriment, though, Paul.
For sure. But it also nets him the best plays that we see at some of these global events, right? This is the moments that he lives for. The best part about that clip to me is we cut it out because obviously it doesn't look good, but like, he's going into the settings thinking he's dead already at that point. He's sliding his volume all the way down so he can listen to his teammates.
And that kind of feast off famine approach that Kangkang has, where he just dials the APM up to 1,000,000, is also a little similar to Nobody. He's going to step forward and try and fight inside of smoke as the only initiator alive on Split, and he's going to solo lurk on the Sky and on the Sova, and that means that it's difficult to get a read on what the team is doing, and it will sometimes net them incredible kills, and he'll sometimes fall over and lose them rounds, and it's trying to find the good moments to do that. You don't want to take it away completely, because it does have some positives for EDG, but it's all about tightening those small screws and learning from the experiences.
The worst thing you can do when you build a new table is you build it, you're like, oh, like all this stuff is here, and then there's one screw missing, and then the table crumbles before your very eyes. That could very well happen to you.
Does that happen to you pretty
I will neither confirm nor deny. I am great at building IKEA furniture. In any case, though, guys, this is it. Day 11 of Champions has come to a close, and this is the bracket as it stands right now. We said goodbye to FUT. We also said goodbye to Bilibili. Fnatic as well as EDG move on. But the action, though, is going to continue, because tomorrow we've got 2 incredible matches. The stakes are higher than they've ever been. A win means you move on to the upper bracket final. We have our schedule. We can fly it up here. We have 2 great matches. Loud and Paper X are finally going to take the stage against one another. And then DRX versus Evil Geniuses. This is truly the gift that keeps on giving tomorrow, Bala.
Yeah, and these guys are playing for a way to actually go to the Kyo Forum. You heard Kong talked about wanting to get there into the top 4. That game means you're over there. So it's super, super high importance for these teams.
I'm also looking at the lower bracket. We could have a rematch of the Tokyo Finals happening if DRX wins against EG. And then also the loser of Loud PRX plays against Edward Gaming. So, I mean, from now on, the lower bracket is unbelievably stacked. Any teams that are in there from the top 6 upwards are just monstrous.
The Paper X, EDG, all that is rematches from Tokyo as well. It's just ridiculous.
We are being treated. This is a great time to be alive. A great time to enjoy professional Valorant. If you are a Valorant fan, of course, this is going to be an awesome day. Tomorrow, we have plenty more coming at you. But that does it for us here. We had a blast. I hope you had fun with the funnies and stuff. Don't you dare. I'll come beat you up. But in any case, so that's going to do it. You heard it here first. Just assaulting this guy.
I dare you. I dare you.
Here's your Prime Gaming end of day highlights. We'll see you tomorrow. Much love. It's a regional David versus Goliath matchup. FUT obviously looking to try and extend their run here at Champions. A historic run for Turkish Valorant. But for Fnatic, they have one word on their mind, Dynasty. And FUT is the team that's in their way right now.
They throw everything at the kitchen sink and cracks, and he just absolutely crumbles. Maj arriving, will be able to find 2. Making his way out of the vent, the plant coming down, but Chronicle! Boaster lurking around the back here of screens. Hasn't spotted Maj at all, but as the smoke dissipates, he will get him!
Take it out, bro.
Good job, they will send it packing, but Alpier as well. Shot down. Dog not getting the stun. The showstopper now going to be thrown forward. Kiwi is already dead. Alpier has dealt with him. Catches both, but he doesn't know that they're below. Alpier with 4 will drag Fnatic across the line off the back of the timeout. 13-5. They get the win on their map pick of Split. Can he interrupt it? No. Does manage to find 1. Gets 2. Maj on for the clutch. It's Leo to deal with it. He's got him. Tries to send down that supportive smoke, ends up getting caught by Boaster. Plays out from Kiwi, comes up with 2, swing onto the corner, puts some damage down. Trying to isolate, but can't quite get it done. Kiwi with a perfect rotation, gets himself in pole position. Leo off of this A-link flank, spawning 1, gets the headshot onto Mr. Fallen. Alpier now strikes from the flank. Just how do you even try to escape from here? There's no way out. Shock here into Garage, the drop down. Alpier's got the tempo and he's got the double. Thought he was safe, but Alpha catches him in the cloudburst. Fnatic, they get the job done. They begin the run. 13-9, they eliminate FUT from Champions.
Fnatic looking back into form here.
Edward and Bilibili have gamed against each other many times before, but this time it's different. The winner remains the sole representative of the Chinese region, and the loser goes home.
It's on the likes of K9, who's done very well. Follow-up should be there, and it is. Nobody careful in the smoke. Tries to play ahead. Oh, and now it's just Rin in a 1v2, but the spikes. Oh, they're so close to him. Oh! And EDG are playing like the favored side. They are playing to their skill, not allowing Bilibili anything in this. This is a massacre so far. Find a fair fight, but it ain't fair against Kang. Takes down his 70, and now we look towards what's remaining. 3 players make it to EDG by standing clean work. A 13-4 result. EDG looking back in peak form. Middle now, here comes the oh! K-Knight! Stunner! Look at this guy work! He's holding the back! Depending on Bianc now to kick into gear, and he does! It's stunning! This is the Bilibili we've been waiting to see! No way, that's just... This doesn't seem right, but hold on! Kang's farming! Oh, he's absolutely destroying him! Nice! He's having a round. A necessary one as well. It's all on Chi-Chu in a 1v4, making a 1v3. Massive impact when Bilibili needed him most. It's on you. You gotta get him. And Smoggy looking to do it again this time. Denied as Bilibili get across the line in the map that none of us thought they could do it on. What's he go for? Has to give it away on the Aldro. Not too many options there. And Yosemite backfilling the space. Kang still holding the ground. Lockdown goes down. Get out of it! Get out of it! This guy is like a heat-seeking missile. He does not miss. Can he isolate a fair fight? This doesn't even get a chance, and he absolutely does, because the flash denied the ball, and he denies to the site. Keeps it safe, keeps it secure. What's that one towards CT? Kind of gives away the intention of Bilibili. Want to break back in, and they might just be doing it. EDG sending Bilibili back on home.